The imagination is lacking in Mega Man 6 what comes to these bosses, in my opinion anyway. People are gonna disagree with that, but I just think they're not as good. Everything I say is based on my own opinions and experience. I'm not speaking for the public, and my feedback should be treated as such. You are watching Nico Evaluates. With 25 years of experience on Mega Man games, 7 years of doing the No Miss Buster Only challenge, and countless Snupster Races, as well as being the QA tester for Mega Man Unlimited, I'm here to tell you my honest opinion on different Mega Man games. So sit tight and learn. Hello people and welcome back to Nico Evaluates Mega Man 6. Let's go check the frog mini-boss, shall we? I got confused because the color palette was changed, so I couldn't remember to break this block here. And what's interesting is that the frog mini-boss doesn't come back anywhere in the game, it's just showcased here once in this part. What an annoying thing to put this enemy here. Either slowly kill it with power adapter or just switch weapons, which is slow as well. So we got energy here, even though the stage has just begun. And here's a mini-boss. Hyper bombs and Gemini lasers, look at this. Although, those are not hyper bombs, but it's an okay pattern. The animation is kinda there when he shoots the laser out. He kinda moves his eyes about. It's okay, it's quite slow. I think you can slide under the Gemini laser as well, there we go. That's a nice addition. Shame you can't, shame this guy doesn't come back in the X stages or whatever, Y stages. So that's a shame, but that's there. And we got an E-tank for our troubles. Which is nice, because we found a secret. And here's where the pad will merge. Well, that's that. Let's go check the X stages, shall we? Whoa! Holy shit! Someone has to make a reel of me saying holy shit from all of the Evaluates episodes. That's a nice castle. But a huge improvement from Mega Man 5. Nice backgrounds again. So now they will start to recycle the enemies, which is typical. But let's see if we have a team here, or if they just added random enemies in random spots and call it a day. Well, first of all, let's check the remaining weapons, which are Centaur Flash. Kills enemies usually in one hit. Sometimes not. Doesn't kill the spines apparently. Not that big of a deal. Beat. You know Beat from Mega Man 5. Except here it's not as useful. Really Beat is not required in this game. It's nice to have for the stages, but it doesn't have any real weaknesses in the game, so it doesn't make too much sense to get it. I mean, it's nice here, it kinda goes after the enemies, but the game is not that hard where you would actually benefit from it hugely. So there's that. This game kinda goes overboard with these adapters. You just end up using the jet adapter all the time here and avoiding pretty much everything. Now this is tricky. If you do it the wrong way, you'll probably fail every time. That's how I've always done it, and that's the way it works for me. I like the challenge here because it's an alternate path, so let's go check it first. Bunch of weapon energies. I think the positions here are just okay. There's not too much to talk about in this particular stage. The lag is there. And there's a surprise under this one. There's 4 one-ups. Kind of peculiar add so many one-ups in there, but I guess that's fine. Let's go check the other route. Let's go back then. No! You need jet so much in this first stage here. It's kinda cool. Gives you practice on these cannons. But again, this stage should be a lot harder in my opinion. Kinda easy with this jet adapter here. Which is needed anyway. So it's not like I make it this easy on purpose. The control is so good on jet that it's pretty easy to manage. I like the dead spikes on that wall there. It's a nice hectic thing to add if you just run out of energy for jet. Might as well die while you're at it. There's no real reason to switch off of jet in this stage. It just comes in handy all the time and you'll just end up using it anyway. Again, dead spikes, they are kind of a dick move, because you could just die on those. Okay, so here's the problem. If you wanna take the 1-ups, you actually can't, because it's blocking the way. That's a genius way to tackle that. You can't take the 1-ups from there. Not too much to talk about in this first stage here. First X-boss, just moving boxes. Kinda cheap, you just wanna kill it as fast as you can. Cause they'll just keep dropping shit on you. There's not much you can do, you can jump over it, but at some point you will get hit. There's probably a safe spot, but I never studied it. There might not be, but in any case, I think it's something that we haven't seen yet. But it's not, it doesn't have a soul, it's not cool, it's not anything, it's just two fucking boxes going around. It's like the square machine from Mega Man 4, divided into two boring pieces. So it's not, like, it's not cool. It's just kinda there. You're, at this point you're like, that's it? That's a boss? Okay. Interesting, I guess. So you just wanna kill it fast, which is done easily with the flame blast. It just wreaks havoc here. Don't have to think much. Such a sad boss, cause he doesn't even have iframes, he just dies. Adding iframes would have increased the fight length tremendously and added some challenge there. But the lack of iframes, I think, is the problem in this boss. Well, here we go. I think the X stages are fine for the most part. They kind of remind me of the passion that Capcom had when they made Mega Man 4. But I don't think it comes that close. Ooh, that's a bad position for that met. Because there's nowhere to go. And when you go back, the other enemy comes back. You have to know the perfect timing, and that's bullshit. It's exactly like the choke placement in Mega Man 2. Oh my god. That's infuriating, let's just go. I don't give a shit, you're just gonna get hit there. I like challenges like this though. It's a fine job. Dropping platforms which kinda mess you up if you try to slide. You can't go forward that easily. They could have fixed that. There we go. Again, have to use chat. There should have been a pattern for these stages that some of them need chat and some of them don't, because now pretty much every stage has to do with the adapters and it's a bit too much. But here's what you learn. You drop through these weird blocks. So it's a better job than in Mega Man 2 where you have no clue at all. Here at least you have a clue. There you saw a weird bug where it actually dings off the met, but it still kills it. Probably a certain frame that you shoot the enemy in kind of bugs out that way. Interesting. There's not much to talk about what comes to positioning, it's pretty good. There's not many problems, the game kind of plays itself. I don't even have to think that much, I can just go. Again, having the same problem of being a bit too easy. I don't really have to pay any attention when I'm talking. Mega Man 6 is one of those games where you can just have a discussion with your friend as you're playing and suddenly you realize you beat the game. Kinda like Mega Man 5, but not as bad. Well then, Silver Tomahawk would come handy in here. Of course, if you somehow used it up, well. Luckily the weapons don't fill when beating a stage, that's good. That's how it's supposed to be. You can beat this with jets, of course, but that's gonna take you hours. So good luck doing that with not 1 damage. This boss is just hectic, I don't know. I would change something about this. The buster bullets are okay, I guess, but the falling rocks, I just don't know. It's constantly making that drill bomb sound, and those rocks don't have splash damage, as you can see. There should be something else going on. It's a bit like it's all over the place, without being entirely too difficult. So that's good. But it's just a clusterfuck. I don't know what I would... The bosses are fucking weird in this game. They're kinda like secondary thoughts. Kinda like the developers were just, okay, here's a boss that crawls on the wall, fires buster shots and drops down rocks. Sounds good! I mean, the bosses in Mega Man 4 had a lot of soul, they were interesting, they were big, they were dangerous, and they looked awesome. Here's just like,
well, the robot crawls on the wall and shoots.
Like, no. The imagination is lacking in Mega Man 6 what comes to these bosses, in my opinion anyway. People are gonna disagree with that, but I just think they're not as good. We can go ahead and beat all of the X stages here. There's not much to talk about here, in my opinion. So we can just go ahead and beat them. So I guess the blizzard attack would come handy for the first time ever. Yes, it will, and now you can get the life there. If you go left, that's a dead end. There's an E-tank, I believe. So the weapons, you really don't use them that much, unless it's like the Night Crusher. But even then... it just seems to me that Mega Man 4 just did everything right. The weapons in this game are not as good. It's a bit of a panic room, you can see that in the time. And again, I'm using the jet adapter because it's just needed all the time. And when the adapters are needed, so here's a good example of giving the player time to practice a new thing, so that's good. But the adapters are needed so much that it kinda eats away from using the weapons in the game. Because you're just like, okay, I need the adapter again. I need the adapter here. I need the adapter there. So why would you even try any weapons? Kinda eats away from the experience when the adapters are everything you need all the time. Here's where the jump mechanics will start to irritate you if you're not careful. And then you just have to switch back to Buster to kill these. What a strange thing to have. There we go. So the adapters are kinda in the way of the enjoyment of the game. Weird positions there. Luckily he can't shoot through the wall. Doesn't really matter which route you chose here. Again, adapter. So that kinda eats away from the enjoyment. But that's how Mega Man 6 does it, and that's how we are gonna have to live with it. That position did suck. The enemy shoots right at the exact same time when the flame trapper comes on the screen. That poker, exactly in the same rhythm, kinda sucks there. Punishing me for nothing. Now I'm kinda stuck. The game encourages you to use the adapters, and sometimes when you do, you just get cornered. But again, adapter, why would you not? On spots like this, why would you not have the adapter equipped? This is the part I like as a challenge. You get to try 2 different things, either go down here, or use the power adapter and go up there. And again, just picking between 2 adapters. The adapters are cool, but you should not have this many spots in the game where they are needed. Well, they are not needed here, but why would you not equip them when the other option is to just die? I think the stages are fine, but I just wish they had more spots for weapon usage. With Hunger Z, pretty uninteresting boss again. And the sprite work on the bosses is not as good either as in Mega Man 4. They went downhill in my opinion. They don't look as good, they look more cartoony, they look more weird, they look like they are not complete. Like it looks like the top of the Hunger Z is cut off. Like it's missing graphics or something. And we have the same pattern in Mega Man 2. The second Wily fight. Not a huge fan, but this time you can actually dodge it. So I guess that's sad. And for some reason the weakness is the Blizzard attack. Okay. Very uninteresting. Very uninteresting indeed. And easy to miss. You just have to jump, which I wasn't doing. I have no idea if he has a secondary weakness, never tried. I guess that's would be interesting to... Oh nice, the plant barrier actually gets rid of those. That's very nice. Oh, what the hell? Oh no, I thought he... I thought he got pushed back from that. Not the case. Beat, you useless son of a bitch. Don't think it even has a secondary weakness. Don't tell me it's wind. Nope. Could be plant, but let's see. Nope. You can actually stand on it. Okay, it's like the Guts Dozer. Well, that was uninteresting. Lack of imagination certainly is present in this title. What comes to the late game anyway. The stages are okay, but I wish I could use my weapons more, because that's what Mega Man is all about. Learning how to use your weapons and then actually having to use them. So that platform comes back now, which is interesting. We don't actually need that. Silver Tomahawk is what we need. So hopefully you learned that platform earlier in the game. It's a lot of repetitious gameplay what comes to the X stages. Some people say these are as good as the Cossack stages in Mega Man 4. I disagree wholeheartedly. They are not as good, they are pretty boring and the enemies are just put somewhere. It doesn't really matter. If you ask me the difference between the X stages, I couldn't straight out tell you. They're all pretty similar except for the previous one where you fly on those moving platforms. But other than that, oh, here is one thing I want to showcase. You can actually push this block on that tube, and it's should prevent the birds from coming up. I was a bit too late, but now it does. That's cool. I like that. Shame it doesn't crush those eggs. I don't know what that's about. But here, this is the only stage where the Centaur Flash would actually come in handy. Because you can make some jumps and then use it as you are about to land. And you can get rid of enemies that way, like there. That's a fun way of using it like this. Oh! Still dangerous. Let's go see if I can get that. There we go, and then... And there we go. But there's not enough difference between the stages. The graphics look almost identical between every stage. They don't look different enough. It doesn't feel like you're progressing at all. You're just going through the same walls of Mr. X. They are different, yes, but there's just something weird about this game. I don't know what's up there. I like never go in here. I can't remember what's up here. Oh, come on. I guess it's just an alternate path. Wow. There's like nothing here. Oh, shite. A 1-up. How generous. Okay, let's go back then. All that for a 1-up. Well, all that which is like nothing. The music though, fucking excellent. One of my favorite tunes from any Mega Man game, this one here. So scary. Has emotion. But this part here, again, Night Crusher would come in handy. Night Crusher is hands down the best weapon in the game. It's most fun to use as well. It just goes around everything nicely. It just works. Which is nice. Every time you wanna have fun, Night Crusher. And here is the merging point. You could push that block down again, but you have to switch weapons and wait, and you also fuck yourself, can't get the E-tank anyway. So the Centaur Flash really useful in this stage alone. Pretty much nowhere else. But here, it's a nice thing to have. Shame I used all of it, I would love to use it here as well. God damn, this fucking weapon is so useless. I was thinking that maybe it's useful here because it goes down like that, but it's still quite dangerous to use. Oh man. I like this stage. Like, the ending is very hectic. I like how difficult it is. The placements might not be godlike, but it's pretty good. But in terms of having a dangerous level, I like it that way. And Mr. X, what a piss poor job again. He just swings back and forth in a huge Night Crush. Drops down bullets, wow. I have no idea what I got hit by. Interesting, right? It just... like, there's a lot of people who have already commented how good the X stages are. I don't see it. They're okay, they're not good. This game is not as good as Mega Man 4. That's preposterous. But I like how he gets hit and swings back when you hit it with the power adapter. You can also use the Flame Blast, I think. But it doesn't really matter. And there we go. My scheme for a world domination has failed, but I still have enough power to enjoy you. Riley! Let the final battle begin. Well, if you agreed on what I said, leave a like. If you disagreed, leave a dislike. We're gonna come back next time. X? Oh, what's the difference between the Wily Castle and the X stages? Nothing, it looks the same.